the good people of our nation. I'm gonna go to the dashboard and make sure everything is all right. We're episode 8. Yeah, good. Update info. Hello, people. I'm sick.
Mood.
Yeah, big mood.
Ugh.
It's,
All right.
it's
Well,
been a week.
it has been a huge fucking week, I think, for everybody involved.
Yeah, everybody
Uh,
involved in the week.
everybody involved in like the world of a video game. There's been just so much fucking shit.
Much news. I haven't even so much news that I haven't been able to fucking digest half of it.
Yeah,
Even a quarter
absolutely.
of it. Just so
I mean,
much shit.
literally, like the news that started last week was crazy already because we got like a whole bunch of shit pretty much the day immediately after we
Yeah,
podcasted.
I'm looking at the Discord news dump and I don't remember posting a lot of this shit just because there was so much news. Like it feels like 2 weeks have passed since
Oh yeah,
some of this shit that is in the lineup
yeah,
of news.
it's crazy. I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm Ryan.
I'm Ben.
Uh,
We
we are we are GamePunx,
yeah, and we are talking about games. Uh,
and we're cold.
yeah, we called it. Montreal sucks. I don't know why we live here. I don't know
It's
why
the
anyone lives here.
going Christmas shopping in Montreal fucking sucks ass. Which is
Oh,
which
I
is
didn't
where
even do
a
that
lot of
yet.
my week was just like if I'm not writing an exam and if I'm not at work, I'm outside in the fucking snow waiting for the bus because I'm coming back from Christmas shopping, which
Yeah,
sucks
you need
ass.
to move on island, my son.
I am on island.
Well, closer to the real part of the island, to the
I'm
part of the
clo-
island that matters.
I, I'm close to I'm close to my mall. I'm close to Fairview Mall in Point Claire. It's
Yeah,
just a
see,
matter of having to fucking get my ass over
yeah,
to the bus stop. I'm very far from the most convenient bus stop. I'm a 15-minute walk.
yeah.
So that I basically the length of
And the
your
colder
place
it
to your
gets,
bus stop is pretty much the length of my place to my bus stop.
yeah.
So it's a trudge, which fucking sucks.
And the,
Uh,
the, the deeper we go into those negative Celsiuses, the further
oh,
that 15 minutes is.
exactly. You know exactly how it is. So why don't we start off with your week for
Yeah,
a change?
let's
I want
start
to see
off
what
with my week. We'll
you
swap
did.
it up.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to remember, because since Monday, my week's been pretty shit.
Hmm.
Um, but let's see here. I've been reading a assload of JoJo.
That's good.
Yeah, because I decided that the anime was taking too long to come out every Friday.
And you're not patient.
And no, I want to know. I want to know what my gang stars get up to. And boy, do
That's
they get up to some fucking shit.
They do. They really, really do.
They fucking do. I'm enjoying it so far. Unsurprisingly to anyone. Um, sorry, I'm fucking dying. Um, Jesus. Yeah, I'm on volume 11 now,
Okay.
of 17, I believe.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's one of the shorter JoJo series.
yeah. Yeah, 11 out of 17 is going pretty good. Kim Crimson is gonna be a fucking crazy animation thing that I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Oh yeah, I don't even know how they're going to explain it to the
I,
audience in like layman's terms how its powers work.
yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a in between commercial cutaway of kind of Attack on Titan-y where it kind of just like says the power and it's not just one of the ones where it's like the stand with the power levels. It's like it's gonna need a actual description.
Oh yeah, and the thing that baffles me the most about it is that there's just I don't know like no feasible way to communicate why that power works.
Yeah, it's it's one of the
The
fucking
me
craziest ones because it's like, how does it work? And it's just like, this is what it does. It's like, okay, but
the meme in the community is it just
yeah,
works.
Todd Howard.
Like it just works. Like,
It
are you
just
fucking kidding me?
it just works. Don't don't. If you ask too many questions, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, this thing just kind of fucking works.
Yeah, and
Ridiculous.
it's OP as fuck, and I didn't think it could get worse than another one bites the dust, but here we are.
Oh yeah, it's totally one of the most overpowered stands of all
And
time.
like I can only imagine what this means for like Stone Ocean and Steel Ball and JoJo
You know,
Leone. Like
the crazy thing about it is that those stands of the enemies in the future parts,
yeah,
I don't think they ever get as ridiculously overpowered as King Crimson, and that's not an exaggeration or joke. Like I really honestly do think King Crimson is the most like overcomplicated, ridiculously overpowered stand, even more overpowered than the one that Poochie uses to literally remake the universe.
mm,
Like it's more powerful than that because that
yeah,
stand is so powerful that it's like the Poochie stand. It's so powerful that it's like it. Can you really consider it an overpowered stand if its power is to kill everything? Like that's just kind of like a basic sort of thing.
yeah,
But everything that King Crimson does, it does while also keeping the entirety of the universe intact, which to me is fucking crazy
yeah.
because
It
it
just
actually
it
allows the villain
defies
to
the
use it
laws.
effectively. Yeah, it allows the fucking character to use it effectively.
Yeah, it's a fucking time. One of my favorite things is like a bunch of shit goes down with King Crimson, and they're like, "Oh fuck, oh boy, we're super screwed." And then the next panel is just them chilling at a cafe, and fucking Mista's like, "What about those fucking vegetarians though? Like, can they eat cakes?" And you're just like, "Fucking Mista, why you gotta be
He's
so?
such a
Why
he's
you
such
gotta
a
be so
dumbass.
good?
I love him.
Why you gotta be so good?"
He is the best character, I think.
Yeah.
He also has the best stand because like Sex Pistols kicks ass.
It's so good. I can't like. Why does it eat though? Just
Because
Sex
they're little
Pistols gotta
men.
eat.
He's got the little men in his
Yeah, but
gun.
where do they poop?
Uh,
The stand.
that's
This
a good
stand is more
question.
confusing
I
than
mean,
King Crimson.
I guess they're since they're like pretty much inorganic ghosts.
Yeah, because
They
it's a
probably just
manifestation
consume
of
the
your.
essence of the food.
Yeah, I guess
I
they
don't know
eat
if
the
they
food
really eat
stand.
it. I guess
Yeah,
they don't digest
yeah.
because they're little bullet men.
Maybe they just like the taste.
Maybe they're just kind of like you know like in like fiction there'll be like a robot and he's like I can't absorb nutrients but I think this tastes good.
Yeah,
That's maybe they're just like that, which means they're just little shits.
they they're just little shits.
That's what it means. It
That's
means they're
true.
just little shits who like to bug poor Mista,
Yeah,
poor Guido.
they're Guido Mista. Um, oh, Jesus, I'm trying not to cough so much, but boy, here we are.
So what other
Uh,
JoJo did you do if you
yeah,
did more
I read the
JoJo?
JoJo. I am getting deep into Bravely Default.
Ah, okay.
'Cause
How is this going?
it's going pretty fucking good. I got to Eisenberg,
Yeah, the
Eisenberg.
big
Yeah,
that's the big fire continent pretty
yeah,
much.
where the fire temple was like, "Fuck you! You killed my
Mhm.
wife."
That is a really good area. Like that whole area is probably my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, I really like the way it's laid out and shit. I
It's like an open
assume,
war zone.
yeah, I assume there's gonna be more on the weird ship city, and I
Mhm.
hope there is because I really like the concept of that. But so far, like you just kind of stop in there before reaching your destination at Eisenberg, and so far I'm at the point where you get the poison sample to try
Mm.
and make a counter poison sample. And Agnes just kind of is like, no, we have to destroy it. And it's like, but they still probably have like a bunch of
Poison.
this shit. You're not thinking this through. I get your noble, your noble position on trying to
To not poison.
to not murder people, but we got an anti-murder people also. Oh,
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
big ups to I don't remember her name, but the voice actor of Agnes. Like when Olivia
Hmm.
dies, like
Oh yeah,
I feel prior to that, I was just kind of like, ah, this voice actor's not really bringing it, and like
yeah.
it was kind of a lot of her lines fell flat, and like as soon as Olivia dies, it just unhinged and is like actual, like it feels emotional and like
Hmm.
Shirley does a good job
It
after
was a
that
good
point.
performance.
Yeah. And even after the whole Olivia scene, I just feel like her entire voice acting like picked up on the quality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd be inclined to agree with that. I think that out of all the main cast, Tiz and Ringabel are probably the best performances because they're the most consistent.
Yeah.
But Idea is very, very good as well. Like later on, when you
Hmm.
start getting deeper into the stuff with like her dad,
Yeah. Like it
that
seems like there's a very like the good voice acting is locked behind emotional trauma.
yes, that's where the performances start being brought.
Yeah. Step up your A game.
Yeah, so I definitely say that that's one of like the stronger points in the game later on when you see kind of all of them having to deal with this bullshit.
Yeah. Oh,
I think yeah.
another thing I want to bring up too is just it's kind of funny playing this game so fucking late afterwards because all your street passes and all your internet friend invite shits are the most OP attacks that just one hit everything. So if you're in a
That's
really
cool.
tight spot and you're just like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out.
I'm just gonna get
You
a
yeah,
friend.
you summon your friend and they just fucking obliterate everything.
That's rad.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
really, really
nice.
rad.
It's kind of like an easy mode without actually having to go onto easy mode and feeling
And
worthless.
some of those boss battles get long
Yeah, yeah,
because
they
some of them
do.
are very hard.
Yeah. Well, I was
There's a
worried
marked amount of
actually.
strategy.
I was worried actually when you're at the abandoned city finding Olivia and you get into that
Hmm.
boss fight with fuck, I can't remember her name now. The weird like floating fairy and the doctor Vincent.
Oh yeah, yeah, Vincent
So
and the
you get
little.
into like a faux boss battle with them, and their attacks were just doing so much damage. I was like, oh fuck, I'm not ready for this. And then they started talking like every two turns, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
this is a fake one. Thank God. I just got to keep everyone alive until they bounce.
those guys are very hard the second time you fight them.
Yeah, I
Although
can imagine.
their abilities are really, really good.
Yeah, Dark seems fucking crazy OP.
Hmm. Hmm. It is. It absolutely is. But that
Bust.
is a that's going to be really, really fun. They have. I'm trying to remember what the little fairies thing was again. Let me just see if I can. I think her job was something, some sort of mage.
I think it. Oh yeah, I want to say it's Dark Mage because she uses Dark Magic, but it's not because we already have Dark Magic.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was so these are the jobs in the game. Let's go through them. So freelancer obviously was the standard.
Yeah.
You've got monk, white mage, black mage,
Yeah, this
knight,
is in order of
thief.
appearance.
Yeah, merchant, spell fencer, time mage, ranger, summoner,
Oh god,
Valkyrie.
Time Mage is the most useless shit.
Yeah.
I think.
Ranger. Well, no, the abilities of Time Mage come really in handy later.
Oh really? I might go
Ranger.
grind that one out then.
Yeah, Ranger, Summoner, Valkyrie, Red Mage, Salve Maker, Performer, Pirate, Ninja, Swordmaster. It's Arcanist. It's basically
Oh okay, yeah.
the evolved version of Black Mage. Yeah,
That makes sense.
Arcanist, Spirit Master, Templar, Dark Knight, Vampire, and Conjurer. So those are all the jobs.
That's a lot of jobs.
Yeah, they're Vampire and Conjurer are the two bonus ones that you don't need to get, but that's one of the characters that you later meet, and Yoyana.
Yeah.
So
All
you can
right.
get Yoyana's job. But Conjurer is really good. That's like the best magic based. Um, it's like the best magic based job you can probably get in the
Yeah,
game
I imagine it covers all
because
grounds.
it's crazy. It's basically like how do I describe it?
Cause Red Mage is
You can
fucking
you
white
you
and
can
black
use
magic. So
invocation,
okay.
and then you can have like steady MP recovery.
Oh
It's
yeah. Okay,
crazy.
that's fucking good.
Like basically after every like turn that you take, you have like abilities that allow you to like recover 30 MP at the end of every turn, stuff like that.
Jesus. All
It's
right.
basically like it's like the summoner asterisk, but like even more fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Summoner seems fucking really good too. And I like that you have to go to the places to actually get the summons. Like
Yes,
there's
I like
just
that too.
there's like little
That's something
hints.
that they brought from like Final Fantasy, the early Final Fantasy games where the summons were acquired from dungeons.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to go to where that summon would live and like go and do like their little dungeon and fight the summon, and then you get the summon.
Yeah, then they're like, "All right, we could be friends."
Yeah, it's really I love that
Yeah, it's a really
thing.
nice touch.
It was one of my favorite things about Final Fantasy 3, the remake version on the DS, because all of the best summons in the game, you had to go through like these really neat dungeons to get them.
Mhm.
And so you go to like the lake where Leviathan is, and like on the map you see him like swimming in the lake, which is really cool. And you'd have to like dive in, and as you go into the lake, that's the dungeon. Like you land the airship in the lake,
Yeah.
and then there was like underneath one of the biggest cities in the game, there's like a catacombs, and you go under there and you can get Odin, like all these fucking cool summons. It was really cool. So
Well, are you still there? Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. I cannot hear you at all. What is happening? Maybe leave the room and come back. Hello?
hello.
Okay. Phew.
Yeah, I think my internet just went a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay. It might have been mine too. It took
It
me
happens.
a second to reconnect. That was terrifying.
Well, it happens.
We can cut that out.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we wouldn't even have to. It didn't even last that long, but
Yeah,
it should be okay.
it should be fine.
At any rate, so yeah, I really liked that about those early Final Fantasies, that you'd have to go and collect those summons.
Yeah, it's
I always thought that was really cool.
I like my big Pokemons.
It is pretty much just Final Fantasy Pokemon.
Yeah. So yeah, got deeper into that. Did I watch anything?
You started Titans.
Yeah, I started Titans. I'm enjoying that so far. You
Like,
covered it pretty good.
you did those first couple of episodes where it's all just them kind of like
Yeah, it's all
coalescing.
set up, so I'm still kind of like, it's like I dipped my toes in it, really. You know?
What'd you think of Hawk and Dove?
They're pretty.
They're really cool. I think that they're some of my favorite characters in the show. And,
Jesus. Sorry.
and
Coffee.
I think that might be a good segue for me to talk about that episode of Titans that I watched this week.
Yeah.
So last week's episode was particularly strong because it was like the introduction of Wonder Girl to the show. So that's Wonder Woman's sidekick.
Yeah.
And they established
Her
her
bud.
relationship with Dick as they met when they were younger, and they were both Robin and Wonder Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Now her name is Donna Troy. Now she just goes by Donna Troy, and she is a photographer, like a professional photographer, as like an artist photographer.
Okay, yeah.
And that's something taken right out of the comics. She was a photographer in her civilian job. So that's really a nice tribute to the original run of the character. And I think so far she's just a very charming. Like she uses kind of her reputation as an artist and photographer to kind of get involved in shady stuff so she can take out criminals.
Mm-hmm.
So she's still working, kind of doing the vigilante thing, but just kind of underground as an artist, and using her influence within that scene to kind of get like poachers and drug smugglers arrested,
Yeah.
which is really really cool, like trophy poachers and stuff. So I thought that was a really really neat thing, and her relationship with Dick is really really nice. They have a good rapport. They have like a little bit of romantic chemistry, but not to the extent that you see Dick having with Starfire. Uh, you'll see a little later in the show.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but so far though, I think um, I've really really enjoyed the vibe of the show thus far. Like I think that they've done a good job kind of making a series that's both
A tribute and its own
yeah
thing.
an earnest and sincere tribute to the source material of the new Teen Titans by like Wolfman and Perez, but
Yeah.
also managing to do the thing where they kind of always want to be a little bit darker and not make it fucking depressing and awful, and just like making characters who are morally reprehensible and framing them as good, you
Yeah.
know? The way that Man of Steel and like Batman versus Superman frame Superman as a good person, even though
City murder
he's
occurred.
yeah, like he's not a good person at
Yeah.
all. He does a lot of bad shit, and he's like the Ayn Randian objectivist crap, like being somewhat considered justifiable by the plot of the film. Like I hate that so much. So they do a good job creating characters who are kind of morally not altogether white,
Yeah.
but you know, are also being taken to task for their behavior. I don't remember how far into the series episode 3 is, but did you get any moments yet where like Dick does something really brutal and one of the characters is like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
I don't think so. I might have missed it. Also, three.
I
I'm
think
still
there
pretty
might be a
early
moment
though.
with I think there is a moment with Hawk and Dove where Dawn looks at him and she's like, "Dude,
The fuck was that?
yeah, too much."
Yeah, chill,
But
bruh.
he's definitely like being criticized throughout the series for basically like, you know, he says he left Batman because he didn't want to become like him,
Yeah,
but
he's coming
so
full
far it seems like
circle.
he's definitely become a lot like Batman.
Yeah, yeah. The whole I
But
don't
anyway,
want to be my parents. Oh no, look at me.
exactly. Well, he
Yeah.
wants to find his own place.
Yeah, yeah. He wants to be his
And I
own
think that
person,
that's
but he's
exactly. He
he's
doesn't
trying
want
too
to
hard
be
to
Batman.
do that.
Yeah, exactly. And he's trying so hard that it's kind of taking him over the deep end, and it's making him having to revisit like the trauma of being Robin,
Yeah,
like the inherent trauma that comes with literally being a kid influenced by an older person who took them in to become part of this man's like one man crusade on crime. That is psychologically damaging.
Batman's a fucked up hero. When you really
Yeah,
think about it, Batman's
Batman is really
garbage.
fucked up. So yeah, that's definitely something interesting about that last episode. Donna Troy is a great character, and it seems like she's going to be a series regular from this
Yeah.
point
Do you think they're
onwards.
gonna? There's probably gonna be some kind of love triangle story thing,
They
right?
might, or they might have Donna have her because in the comics, Donna had like a long-term love interest who she ended up marrying.
Ah, okay.
So they might introduce him, but
Yeah.
at any rate, what I think they're doing is they're trying to get us used to the idea of these other sidekicks existing in this universe,
Yeah.
and that previously there might have been like another incarnation of the Titans, kind of like how in the comics of the New Teen Titans they were called the New Teen Titans because they were the second iteration of the team,
Mhm.
and it kind of what happened in those comics was like the first couple of stories is like Kid Flash is there and Donna Troy is there and Speedy is there, and like all these older sidekick characters are there, but and Aqualad too. But as the series went
Fucking
onwards,
Aqualad.
those characters went on and became their own people, and the only ones that kind of stuck around were Dick Grayson and Donna Troy, and then like all these other characters kind of became their own heroes. Like Speedy went and became Red Arrow or Arsenal, or he kind of went and did his own thing.
Yeah.
Kid Flash became Flash because Barry Allen died during Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is the big storyline that happened pretty much like right after those comics things. So Wally West became Flash, and then he was Flash for fucking ever, pretty much. Like he was Flash for about as long as most people probably are familiar with the character nowadays.
Yeah, locked
I
himself
mean,
into the position.
even the Justice League cartoon, like the Flash was Wally West. He wasn't Barry Allen,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
and that's
So
like
yeah, like
that's
all
who
these
I know the
characters.
Flash as is Wally.
Yeah, exactly. Like most people don't. Well, I don't say most people don't know Barry because Barry has been back as the Flash for like a significant amount of time, probably about a decade now.
Yeah,
But like for pretty much all of our childhoods, I think when we would have maybe been first introduced to the character, he was Wally.
yeah,
And even to an extent, for me, Wally is still kind of a lot more of an interesting character because a lot of his arc is dealing with the fact that he's not the first Flash.
yeah.
Like he has to deal with the fact that his mentor and best friend and uncle as well through marriage, or not uncle, but what was he, his uncle? Yeah, he was. Cause no, wait,
Like step uncle, kind of.
his cousin.
Okay.
Cause
Family trees are weird.
families are weird. Cause his sister, his yeah, cause his no, I don't remember the continuity of the original comics. I have the normal Flash TV show continuity in my head, and in that, Wally West is Iris West's brother, younger brother, and not cousin. I think in the
Okay.
original comics they were cousins, and he was his cousin through marriage because he was married to Iris. But anyway, continuity of comic books aside, the other episode of Titans that I watched, the latest episode, which was called Hank and Dawn, was basically just an extended flashback that Hank is having in the hospital while he's sitting with Dawn, and it's kind of explains how it's Hawk and Dove's origin story.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not going to spoil any of it for you, but suffice it to say,
Yeah,
I
because you
think it
got
might
me
have
on
been
that
the best
CW
episode.
train now.
Yeah,
I can't back down.
it might have been the best episode of the show
Nice.
thus far. It was really emotionally affecting and sad, really sad, and really, I think, got across why these characters are together, why Dawn and Hank love each other so much, why they are dependent on one another, like because they have a pretty, I want to say it's a pretty obviously codependent relationship,
Yeah.
even from the minute that they're introduced, where you can see how much either one of them's actions affect the other really deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their reasoning within the series for as to why that is very, very, very emotionally powerful, and it got me. Like I definitely cried a couple times during that episode. It was very heavy, thematically and emotionally for me. So that was a really, really good kind of introduction to like the origin story of those characters, to some of the characters that appeared in their past too,
Yeah.
like some of the other characters relevant to them in the comics. And I think it overall got across just how much these characters mean to one another, and why Dawn's crippling
Mm.
pretty much fucking broke Hank. Like it's really, really good. And then it ends on a very positive note too, which is nice, and I think a note that hints that there's definitely potential for these characters to return again
Okay, yeah.
as Hawk and Dove. But suffice it to say, their origin story was just so much more than it needed to be, and it was beautiful and
Yeah,
really well done.
it's good
It
when
was some of the finest television I have watched this year, and
it's good when TV does that
yeah.
to a point, like, because sometimes you can overdo it and just kind of fucking ruin it, and everyone's like, ah. But then you do it right, and you leave like, I guess not scars, but you leave an emotional or like, just an impact that like the
Yeah.
person will fucking remember, you know?
I think anybody who's been watching this show since it started, who just got to that episode, probably felt what I felt watching it. It was just really emotionally effective television, really, really well done, and some of the finest TV I've watched like this whole year. It was really good. So speaking of fine TV I have watched, this week was also the much awaited crossover of the CW shows.
Yeah, Elseworlds.
Elseworlds. Uh,
Which I will also watch once like, should I catch up on Titans before I watch this, or can I just go in
well,
kind of cold? Because I was planning to watch
there's
it,
no
but then
Titans
the thing
characters in it,
happened on
so it's
Monday,
still
so
good.
okay.
You know, yeah, it's not relevant to Titans because Titans isn't taking place in the same shared universe.
Okay.
So Titans is I think is its own little universe that they're doing, which is fine because the CW shows have long since established that the multiverse is a thing, and this story played very heavily with those multiverse rules. So I guess to kind of give people the gist of what this crossover is, every year since all of these shows started airing together, they have been crossovers between them. So the first year that Flash started airing, it had a crossover with Arrow, and then the second year that it started airing, that all these were airing together, Legends of Tomorrow crossed over with all of those other two shows, and then Supergirl crossed over with Flash, and now all of them just kind of cross over with each other.
In a big cluster cross.
Exactly, and it culminated last year with a crossover of all four shows called Crisis on Earth X,
Mm.
which was basically one of the craziest stories they've ever done, one of the most ambitious because it featured all of these characters. But basically, Iris West and Barry Allen's wedding is crashed by evil Nazi versions of all of these
Oh
superheroes.
yeah, you talked about
Yeah.
this.
Exactly. From an Earth called Earth X, in which the Nazis won World War II, and thusly all of these characters are Nazified.
Assimilated.
Yeah. Like Green Arrow, Oliver Queen is the Führer of the United States. Like that's not a joke. They call him
Woo!
they call him der Führer. And
Sick.
he's called the Black Arrow. And then
Black
there
Arrow.
is a whole bunch of other characters, like the Reverse Flash is part of their regime, and some of the other characters are freedom fighters. So Captain Cold, known as Citizen Cold, is a freedom fighter, along with the Ray, who's another superhero, Ray Terrell, who can basically turn into like a living beam of light, which is a really cool power. And they basically teamed up with these freedom fighters and took out these Nazis and destroyed the Nazi regime once and for all by killing all of their leaders. Also, Supergirl is a Nazi. They call her Overgirl, and
Overgirl.
she's like
I
the
feel
perfect
like you said
Aryan.
that last time, and I laughed also.
She's like the perfect Aryan specimen, right? Because she's blonde hair, blue eyed,
Yeah.
and she's not from this planet, but she's the wife of the Führer, and she is the most powerful being in that universe, and she is used to subjugate anybody who stands against them.
If
And
she's
it's a
the
very
most
heavy.
powerful, why isn't she the Führer?
Well, that's the thing, is that she's kind of their weapon,
Okay.
and
I married our weapon of mass destruction.
exactly. It's a very very crazy kind of story that they tell, and it's very heavy too because I mean they're dealing with Nazism, which is a horrific ideology, just is the fucking worst.
Frowned upon.
And yeah, exactly.
At best.
It's the worst ideology,
Yeah.
and they do touch upon concentration camps and which people are suffering under the Nazi regime. Like Captain Cold is not only Jewish, and he's been established since he was introduced in the early Flash seasons that he is Jewish,
Mm-hmm.
but he's also gay. And they kind of have hinted at it throughout the show. But in this other universe where he's a freedom fighter, he is gay and he is married to Ray Terrell, the Ray. And when you first meet Ray Terrell, he's being broken out of a concentration camp by Captain Cold, and he's there with the pink triangle on his jumper. Like it's really, they're not mincing fucking imagery
Yeah,
here. They're
yeah,
like, no,
they're-
these people are going to be killed. They're in a concentration camp and they will be murdered.
Yeah.
So it's like a really really heavy story that they told, and they told it with a lot more grace than they needed to, really, but they did a great job. So that was a huge crossover, but I from what I understand, production wise, it was kind of, not only was it a labor of love, but it was just a labor to be able to write all of these characters into one story and not make it convoluted as fuck was a miracle, and probably something that they're having a lot of difficulty trying to do again.
Yeah.
So for this particular crossover, they said, let's nix Legends of Tomorrow out of it because that show has like 6 main characters and they are all unique. And that show is like it's like Star Trek, where there's episodes that focus on one particular character's narrative over the course of the show.
Hmm.
So it's not more character driven by one person the way the Flash, Supergirl, and Arrow are, even though they have their respective casts, that have side stories and stuff like that. Those shows are clearly more focused on one hero. And so let's just cross over these 3 this time. And let's tell an interesting story. And they start by introducing a very major DC character called the Monitor to this universe. The Monitor is an omniscient, basically he's an omniscient being who basically watches over the entire multiverse in the DC stories. And in this, he basically is testing all these different universes by giving them a book that allows people to rewrite their worlds, like everything about it, like rewrite people's lives,
So
rewrite
like Heaven's Door, but for the universe.
Basically, yes.
All right.
And he gives it to a basically like a disgraced doctor from Arkham Asylum named John Deegan. John Deegan in the comics is a character known as Dr. Destiny, and he is like he's a deranged person who has the ability to kind of perceive people's futures.
I feel like he's touched upon in Arkham Asylum, like the game, but as
He
like
might be.
a background docket or something.
He very well might be, because he's kind of like he's a minor Batman villain whose powers are so kind of interesting that whenever he appears, it's usually just kind of to do like a side story because he's almost too powerful for Batman. But anyway, Dr. Destiny, or John Deegan, and they just call him Deegan, they're kind of playing him as a parody of Jordan Peterson, which makes me laugh. But he's like a very clearly insecure, kind of unstable dude who has been like disgraced by academia and by like people in his profession because he's a psychologist or psychiatrist, or he's a psychologist. So he and he worked at Arkham, but he's given this book and he decides to kind of basically, when you read the book, you can see everything, like your whole, you perceive everybody in your whole world, and how they work and who they are. So he rearranges shit. Yes. So he rearranges shit so that Flash and Green Arrow switch lives, and they know that they know that they have switched lives. And they know that they are each respectively Oliver Queen and Barry Allen.
Yeah.
But everybody else around them, it is like their entire lives have been that these people are Barry and Oliver.
That's wild.
Yeah. So he fucks with them that hard, and they basically have to. They find each other, like Oliver uses Flash's speed to run to fucking Star City, and he's like, okay, well, if I'm Flash, it must mean Flash is me. So he uses Flash's speed, and you get to see him throughout, kind of earlier on in the episode, just kind of playing the part of Flash. But then he's like, okay, I need to sort this shit out because this is not right. Like, I woke up in my friend's bed with his wife and her kissing me and making me breakfast. This is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Exactly. So he goes and he finds Barry, and he's like, thank Christ, Barry knows that he's Barry and not me. But Barry
that would be even worse. You switch like one of their memories, but not the other one. He's like, no, but
So yeah, luckily they both know that they're not meant to be this way, and they hash it out, and they're like, okay, so fuck.
So we gotta fix this quick.
What do we do? What do we do about this? Well, they think, well, we should go and see Supergirl because she lives on another Earth. She lives on Earth 38. They live on Earth 1.
And if Earth 1 hasn't been, or if Earth 1's fucked, it doesn't mean the 38 will.
Exactly. Hopefully, Kara will be able to tell the difference between them. So they go to Smallville, and I'm not kidding you. Cue Smallville theme from the show.
Oh my god!
In
the old one.
Yeah, like somebody say.
Oh my god!
So there's a flyover shot of Smallville, The Smallville theme plays. I jizz in my pants because that shit is amazing, and that made me feel like a big feel because
Yeah,
Smallville
yeah,
meant a lot to me when I was younger. I used to watch that shit religiously. It was kind of like my introduction to the Superman mythos.
yeah.
But anyway, they go to Smallville and they meet up with Kara, who is taking some time off at the Kent's farm. So she's there, and Clark is there, and Lois Lane is there. So this is the first time Lois Lane is being introduced into this universe. And they establish that Clark and Lois have been basically living off of Earth for a while at Argo City, which is the city that Supergirl is from.
Yeah.
The city that it's basically a part of Krypton from a colony planet of Kryptons that wasn't destroyed. So there are still some Kryptonians left, and they all live there. So Superman was there with Lois, kind of learning about his Kryptonian culture for the first time, and that's why he's not been present on Earth 38, and why Supergirl has been its like main protector.
Mm-hmm.
Although
It's like, I
Superman
gotta
has
go.
appeared in, yeah, he has appeared in Supergirl for like a whole bunch of times, and he's been really great. He's played by Tyler Hoechlin, who is an actor mostly known for his work on the show Teen Wolf.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he is a
I see that.
he is a very very good Superman. He's probably my favorite non Christopher Reeves Superman. He's very very good
Throw him in the
in the role.
movies.
Like he sells me on the role immediately whenever I see him because he has this kind of smile and this charm that basically just dresses you down immediately the second he's on screen. Like he's such a magnetic presence as the character. And so he sold me immediately when I first watched him in season 2 of Supergirl. But anyway, this is like only the 4th or 5th time he's made like a major appearance in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time that Flash and Arrow have met him. So they introduce each other. Kara obviously can tell them apart. And so they bring Kara back to Earth 1 to kind of help convince the rest of the people that they are who they say they are and not the other way around.
Yeah.
Because basically, when they tried to explain to people that they are not who they think they are, they threw them in the fucking metahuman containment facility they use in Flash. And they had to use each other's respective abilities to break out. Like, basically what happened is Flash used kind of some of the basically the Green Arrow has trained his joints to kind of dislocate themselves
Yeah.
so that he can like do kind of shit with them. So Flash has to dislocate his fucking finger to get his hand under the toilet to flood the toilet, which shorts out the metahuman power dampeners in the prison, and then Green Arrow has to use Flash's powers to phase himself out of the prison.
Jesus.
So it's a fun scene, and they kind of establish that like both of them kind of channel their powers and their emotions as they use them in different ways. Like Green Arrow, obviously, he's a lot more of a like, I want to say he deals with like his emotional trauma by kind of being aggressive and by being cold.
Yeah.
And so he basically has to tell Barry to like channel his anger in order to kind of correctly dislocate his joint. And then
Put all the rage right in your pinky.
in his thumb, actually.
Oh.
And it's really gross. You see it kind of hanging there for a second, too.
Yeah,
Nasty.
that's like good shit. The like weird
And-
fake thumb that just kind of jiggles around in the air. You're like,
Exactly.
"Oh."
And then Barry has to teach Oliver to clear his mind in order to properly focus the Speed Force powers.
Okay, yeah, so they have to go against their nature.
Exactly,
to
which is, I think,
actually
it's-
overcome the shit.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of this crossover actually deals directly with kind of what it means for both of them to be a hero and what it means for them and how they kind of go about being themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a really really neat little fun bit of writing, which is nice. But anyway, they kind of go through that. They break out of the prison, and then they're able to go to Earth 38. They come back with Kara. Kara's like, "Look, they're not shitting you. These guys actually are who they say they are." So now that
Best
everybody's
believe.
well, they believe Supergirl because
Yeah.
she's their friend. So all of that shit established. Supergirl, Superman, and Arrow and Flash with each other's respective powers still. Basically team up and fight an android that Oliver accidentally activated with lightning earlier on in the episode when he was trying to fight some people off in a laboratory where the android was. This android is Amazo, who is a pretty major DC character villain. But he's an android who can basically replicate metahuman superpowers, and so every time you attack him, he scans like your powers and has them afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
So
So kind of like
they're basically fighting another Superman that can also run at the same speed as Flash, and has like precision martial arts skills like the Green Arrow. Like it basically copies people's abilities. So they have to team up and kind of go against their natures again to be the best versions of their heroes that they can be in order to take out this android. And it's a really spectacular fight scene that gets off the ground, and they kind of end the episode going like, okay, Cisco, who's like he's the character Vibe.
yeah.
He's one of the main Flash characters. He uses his powers to kind of perceive and kind of travel to different universes and worlds to basically he vibes the I don't remember exactly what he vibes, but he's able to perceive that Deegan has the book that they use to kind of rewrite the universe, and Deegan's in Gotham City, so they have to go to Gotham, and that's where the next episode kind of picks up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil the rest, but that is where we get Batwoman.
Yeah.
That is where we get a whole bunch of
Oh man,
Gotham
I saw. Okay,
characters.
because I I am planning to watch this because I'm super hyped for Batwoman and Ruby Rose being Batwoman and all that. So I
Yeah.
saw a few clips of Ruby Rose as Batwoman,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks pretty good so far. The thing that annoys me about pretty much every Batman ever, though, is the like, I gotta be kind of mad and edgy all the time in the way that I talk.
Yeah, that's just I think kind of because Batman does that to disguise his voice.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things that I'm like, I wish you wouldn't, but I understand why. But oh,
Thankfully,
she seems to do it all right.
Ruby has some humanity in her performance. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of there's a very sweet moment between her and Supergirl that really like made me smile, and they do like a little World's Finest reference
Okay, yeah.
where it's like I feel like if you and I were on the same Earth and stuff, we'd be great partners.
We could be friends.
Yeah, we could be friends. And she
Yeah.
was just like, World's Finest, and I'm like, aw,
Oh, you did the
really
thing.
cute.
Yeah.
Also, but I hope that means that they're gonna do some Batwoman Supergirl cross. They have to. They
Of
couldn't
course.
not do it. But anyway, the next two episodes are just one of them is full of Gotham stuff, and the other one is full of like evil Superman stuff. So
Okay, cool.
it's a really fun kind of crossover. And I'd say that even without, of course, it helps to have watched all the other stuff, like the
Yeah.
CW shows, to get all the context. Even without all of it, it's a really fun 3 episodes of television. Like it's a fun little TV movie. Lots of superhero time travel shenanigans. Lots of interdimensional hopping.
All
It
that
was
good shit.
really, it was really, really satisfying, and I had a great time watching it.
Sick. I'm excited
So
to
that
watch
was-
it now.
It was really neat. And I do want to say something else. I watched, since Legends of Tomorrow was kind of not present in this crossover, they had to kind of do something special. And so the last 2 episodes of Legends of Tomorrow were kind of a major character arc for John Constantine's character, in which you kind of find out what his deal is currently. And so it turns out that he was being pursued by a demon that he had made a deal with that essentially resulted in the demon he made a deal with gaining the deed to John's soul. So when John dies, he is damned to hell,
Yeah.
and this demon will be the one to eternally torture him. But
John's
when
Inferno.
when the demon prison that was holding all of these characters, kind like the barrier that was holding all these magical creatures kind of away from hell broke,
Yeah.
this demon broke out into the universe and tried to pursue John. And the only way that John could get rid of him was to bond him to his boyfriend Desmond. And he essentially damned Desmond to hell.
That's fucked up.
And it fucked him up really bad. So this episode dealt with John confronting this kind of directly by going back in time and erasing his relationship with Desmond, in doing so, he essentially fucking breaks time and creates a really, really bad series of time paradoxes. And it's up to him, Zari Tamaz, who is Isis, and Charlie, who's kind of this shape-shifting demon that's joined the team and who's taken the form of one of their previous companions,
Yeah.
to solve this issue and solve time breaking. But essentially, what like the resulting effects of this are that John never joined the team, and because John never joined the team, one of their members or a couple of them died during one of their missions fighting these magical creatures because they didn't have his expertise, and that in turn basically fucks up the legends and turns them into kind of like murderous assholes who are going around just kind of indiscriminately killing all of these creatures instead of bringing them into custody the way they were meant to.
Yeah.
And
More of a
that
revenge
is
thing than.
that's pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
So they have to rectify this, and like a whole bunch of different kind of universe changes happen. Like in one universe they become these 80s style kind of badasses called the custodians of the chronology, and they have like a
Badass
80s
custodians.
yeah, they have like an 80s style theme song where they go
Yeah.
around just kind of like blasting these monsters to fucking pieces with like these crazy weapons.
That's sick.
It's kind of like A-Team type shit.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
Then in another universe, all of the male members were killed, so all the female members became kind of like a Charlie's Angels type team of like lady badasses, and they go around fucking murdering all these monsters. And then in another timeline, they basically erased one of the creatures from doing most of the damage it could do, and it was like a fairy godmother, so it bonded itself to Heatwave, who is like the most temperamental kind of person in their group, and he basically used one of his fairy godmother wishes to turn the team into a bunch of like puppets, because he called them like, you guys are such puppets, you know? And
Yeah.
they literally became puppets, and so they do like a little Muppet style kind of Legends of Tomorrow thing
Oh
where
my God.
they're all like annoying
I
little puppets from like a kids
Fucking
TV
love
show.
that. That's great.
And Zari became like a cat, and just like a whole bunch of like, so she's a cat for a lot of the episodes.
It's like Warner Brothers just was like, you know what? Just go for it. Just
this is why I say
Just
Legends
hands
of
off.
Tomorrow is consistently one of the most fun shows on television because they go there.
yeah.
And at the same time, all of this is the result of a man having to traumatically damn his boyfriend to eternal pain and suffering in hell.
Don't send
Also-
your gay boyfriend to hell.
Also, like, hey, John Constantine is depicted very, very overtly within the series as bi,
Yeah.
and he is shown to still be valid bi despite being with a man and loving a man and calling a man his boyfriend and living with him, and them having like at least one or two very, very, very present gay sex scenes, which is really cool as well. Like they went there. This whole show goes
It's
there
doing
and
it.
it does everything. It's so fucking cool. I love it so much. It is a show with two bisexual main characters who are both shown to be with same gender partners, but also still validly bi, which is cool.
Yeah. And it's
And-
not. It doesn't seem to be in the way that it's like, ah, look, we did it. We did. You see, we're doing it. It's-
Exactly, they're
It
just-
seems to be more of a like, no, they're just that's what this was
They're
happening.
just
Yeah.
they're organically in relationships with these people.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. And John Constantine being a bisexual man. How many bisexual men with same gender partners do you see on television? None.
Nope.
Literally none. He is the only one I can think of, and he's great. And the fact that it is not just the fact that his
Shit.
sexuality and his romance with a character is crucial to his storyline within the series, but that it's omnipresent and unashamed to kind of go deep into that is just really, really fucking cool. So Legends kicks ass. It's a great show. Those last two episodes were some of the most emotionally heavy and like taxing narratives they have ever doled out, and I think they did a very good job kind of handling the very, very heavy subject matter of, oh, this dude is dealing with the trauma of having to do, and if you know, John is like very overtly within the series, he's depicted as suicidally depressed, and
Yeah.
this is
you,
one of the reasons why, and it kind of, you see why. Like the dude basically hurts and damages everybody that comes into contact with him, basically because he has all these relationships with demons and monsters.
My superpower is ruining my personal relationships.
Exactly. And he can never be happy, and it you see how it ruins him. Like
Yeah.
he drinks, he smokes, You know, he can't form like, you know, cordial relationships with anybody because he's constantly afraid that these people will be hurt because of him.
Hmm.
And it's really it's a great characterization, and I think that them introducing John into this universe like permanently as like a main member of the cast has really allowed these writers to go all in with the kind of storytelling that they've always been trying to do, but I think only really since about midway through season 2 have they been really capable of doing
Hmm.
these really heavy emotionally affecting storylines. Season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow is a very hit or miss show because it's very Doctor Who-ish.
Yeah, you told it's like
And
Monster of the Week, and then near
yeah,
the end it gets an overarching thing.
and it's not even just Monster of the Week. It's like the Monster of the Week is the same character over and over again. And in the end, he always manages to like kill Hawkman.
Mm.
And they have to bring, you know, they have to go and find Hawkman and Hawkgirl again because they were murdered by Vandal Savage. And he's
Yeah.
getting more powerful. And it's a really good show. But, and they do a whole bunch of fun stuff. Like they go to the Old West and they meet Jonah Hex. And Jonah Hex is like a main character for a couple of episodes. And they, you know, they do stuff like that, and they meet other characters from like these future timelines. They go to Star City in the future and they meet a future old man Green Arrow with like one arm and a big white beard, and they meet the other Green Arrow who is John Diggle's son, and they fight Deathstroke's son and all this cool shit like that. Like there's a lot of really notable and good episodes from the show of that
Yeah.
era, but it's a very inconsistent season. And then later on, it just like season 2 is where they fight the Legion of Doom, and that's fun because they have an evil villain team to go up against. So it's the evil good guys, the evil, you know, the evil versions of the good guys
Yeah.
versus the good guys. Like really neat. And then season 3, it's where the show transitioned to a Monster of the Week kind of show, but the Monster of the Week stuff's great. And there is a really good episode in the beginning of season 2 where they meet the Justice Society, which is like the Justice League from like the 1940s during World War II, and they go and they fight like Nazi soldiers, like super soldiers, and
Sick.
it's all these old style kind of
Man, you can have so much fun with you just put superpowers in a time travel machine and just let it fucking go.
exactly. They've written themselves a perfect show for this kind of storytelling. So they've been doing a good job, but I think this latest season of Legends and the last season 2, seasons 3 and 4 have been where the show has kind of embraced the goofy nature while also still being able to tell these emotionally affecting storylines.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole storyline where one of the characters of in season 3, one of the main characters is revealed to be a clone from the future, and that all of her memories are just like generic memories implanted into her to kind of give her the semblance of personhood. But she struggles
Oh man,
then
that's my
with the notion of her
oh,
humanity because she is a human, but she's not a person.
that's the nightmare. That's
Yes.
the night. You just oh man, that's like
everything
actually
that
one
she's
of
ever known
my
is fake.
yeah. That's one of my fears. It's just like, yeah, you have memories from like way back when, but like you woke up this morning. Were they like were they implanted? Like for
Mhm.
all you know, today is the only real day that you've actually done anything.
It's
That's
ridiculous.
like one of the things that like plagues my mind sometimes. One of those like irrational fears that doesn't make sense that you're like, but what if it was?
But it's totally terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like one of the scariest things you could ever conceive of. So that was really good. Like that was just some of this show has been. I mean, I went all along about it a couple episodes ago, but honestly, Legends of Tomorrow is one of the most fun shows to watch on TV. But it also managed to be one of the most emotionally, you know, real
Yeah.
because they have all these queer characters and they have all these really fun characters with meaningful kind of. And I mean, I say John Constantine's a bi man shown in same gender relationships. He's not the only bi man shown to have same gender relationships on the show because Gary Green, another one of the characters, is an openly bisexual character. And he's kind of like a dumb loser, and he's fun dumb loser, but he's still like validly bi.
That's
And
the
he
best
even
kind.
had a relationship at one point with Constantine very briefly, which is really funny. Even though he still remained a virgin, and when he asked Constantine if that thing that he did with him still meant he was a virgin, Constantine was like, "Oh yeah, trust me, you're a virgin, mate." Like, so
If you have
whatever
to
he
ask,
did-
you're a virgin.
exactly. So it's really funny, but they've been doing so much cool stuff with this show. I'm really happy that it's been going the way that it has. So all of these DC TV shows are fucking brilliant,
Yeah.
and they're fun.
Was
And
that
I think that's kind of what I have to say about all of that.
yeah. Was that all you did this week? Any games or?
In terms of games, I've been playing a lot of Skyrim. Actually, I've gotten back into Skyrim
You
after
damn
beating
fool. That's what Todd
after
Howard wants.
I know, but after beating Breath of the Wild,
Yeah, you need that
uh,
open world
I
sword
need that open
slashy.
world kind of bug. So I go into Skyrim and I do some of the missions that I haven't done. I beat the game. I beat the main campaign. I killed Alduin.
Yeah.
So I went and I did that, and then I also killed Parthenax so that
What?
the blades don't hate me anymore.
I hate you.
Well, I mean, I like the
Never
blades.
kill
And I also agree
Parthenax.
that killing all the dragons is good.
Yeah, well,
Even
it's a little.
Parthenax deserves to die
Uh,
for the crimes that he previously
I,
committed.
I don't
he
believe
needs to
in
be
dragon genocide.
I believe in dragon genocide.
Clip it.
Also, but I have to admit, I'm role playing my character as pretty much like chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do, but like my character within the game, like the way I define her is that she only ever does anything to serve herself,
Yeah.
and she is.
That's
her name is-
generally how I play too. It's just I could never. Well, I mean, I did do it actually a couple of times on a couple of playthroughs. Just killed Parthenax, but like sometimes I'm just like, nah, it feels wrong.
My character is a red guard who kills everybody and anybody that she thinks can't serve her. She's manipulative. Like that's how I'm
Sick.
playing the character.
Yeah.
So she's
I
she's
like going in with these like D&D character notions, kind of, you know, like
yeah,
not just like, oh, this is video game, I make big sword slashy man, but being like, nah, I'm gonna make this character a rogue who fucking doesn't give a shit and just steals everyone's money.
yeah, because otherwise my character's just defined by they're the Dragonborn, and I was like,
Yeah.
that fucking is stupid, and
It's
I don't
super
want to be.
boring. And I feel they make it
I don't
so
want to be a
open-ended.
hero if I'm gonna be the Dragonborn. I want to be an asshole.
Yeah,
so I played her
you
as
picked the
kind
wrong
of a
one.
manipulative sociopath. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like, hey, sometimes the people that are the most powerful are assholes.
Yeah,
and Ennis is a
the
fucking
chosen
bitch.
one is evil.
Yeah, she's a
Whoops.
piece of shit, and she's a manipulator, and she hates. Like she married her wife simply so that she didn't have to deal with her wife following her around.
You
like-
married Lydia?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Fucking Lydia.
I married Lydia, and I
Oof.
adopted 2 children because I'm like, maybe I could use these children
Maybe.
to get items, which they do
Yeah.
bring me items, so it's good. My part, like I picked the partner that I have, Mercurio, because he's one of the most powerful mage characters you can get in the game. So I just have Mercurio running around with me, you know, magicking the shit out of people because he's useful for that. And I do all the heavy lifting, and he does all the magic, so it works out for us. Like she's a shitty person, but I characterized her that way for a reason.
She's a shitty person, and I love her.
Exactly. And I mean, I've done all the Dark Brotherhood and all the Thieves Guild stuff too, so I have like the, you know, all of like the Special Thieves Guild missions, and I have all of the. So I just go around stealing, murdering, and killing dragons, and it's fun.
It's
And
steal murder.
I'm still not sure if I should join the Stormcloaks or join the Imperials. I don't know who is more, because I want to do one of them at the end, in the end of it, right? Like I want to do one of those missions,
Yeah.
but I don't know who I want to join. The racists who think that me being a red guard is bad, or and that I shouldn't be in Skyrim, even though, you know,
I'm
kinda saved their
advancing their
asses.
entire yeah.
yeah, I saved them from fucking Alduin. Like
Hey,
they
thanks.
owe me.
Thanks for getting our country back. Get out. What?
Yeah, exactly.
get out.
But anyway, Skyrim belongs to the Nords. Go fuck yourself.
Go back home.
So yeah, go back to Hammerfall. So yeah, so fuck them. But on the other hand, the Imperials are subjugating assholes who also deserve to die, and I love killing them.
Yeah.
Like I did the whole mission where you kill the Emperor, and I was like, yeah, fuck you. Like, so I don't know who I want to join. I might just join the Imperials just so that I could go and fucking kill the Stormcloaks because I hate them. And I think I might do that.
Do it.
But
I
you know,
recommend
my
following your
home
heart.
is in an Imperial-controlled city because my version of the city where the Thieves Guild is. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Oh, River. No, Riften.
Riften. Yeah. So my house is in Riften. I
Yeah.
have that house outside.
That's a good
And
house.
like, well, I'm in an Imperial-controlled Riften. If I just join the Imperials, I can just go fuck up all the Stormcloaks, because fuck the Stormcloaks. They suck ass. So I might do that. Maybe the Stormcloaks deserve to be subjugated because they're racists. So I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But also, their racism is a result of the Imperials. I'll join one of them at one point, but for now, I'm enjoying just kind of going around murdering and.
I love the like political, like openness of the whole decision. It's like, hey, these guys are racist, but they're racist because of imperialism, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And the imperialism is just like it's imperialism. So I mean, like,
exactly.
It's kind of like,
I
don't know.
I'm like, the Empire sucks. They really, really suck. Like ass.
Yeah.
So much ass. And everybody knows that they suck
fucking,
ass.
I hated, like, I always picked, fuck, who did, what are the elves that you have to kill? The Thalmor.
No, the Thalmor.
Yeah. I always picked against the Empire because I hate the Thalmor more than anything.
The Thalmor are the most evil of all.
They're just
because
pure evil.
The Old Mary Dominion's entire MO is like, hey, humans fucking suck.
Kill them all.
I'm just like, wow, the Altmer are fucking assholes. Go die. But I also like, because I really like the Dark Elves.
Yeah.
They're like my favorite race within this. I mean, my favorite race.
Master
The
race.
best ones. But I really do like them. Like, I think they have the most sympathetic kind of storyline of any of the races within this series.
Yeah, I really like the
Algorians. Them and the people from Elsewhere, the Khajiit.
Yeah, the Khajiit get shit on so hard.
Yeah, the Bosmer too. Like the Khajiit, the Bosmer, and the Dunmer have like the harshest lives of any of the races because they're basically just always being subjugated either by the Aldmeri Dominion or by the Empire.
Yeah.
Or being treated like shit by the Nords. So fuck them.
It's
so
not
I
an
might
ideal situation.
And I like the orcs too, but the orcs just kind of do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
The orcs are just kind of like, we're gonna be over here in the corner praying to our Orsamari gods. So yeah, whatever. Fuck all y'all.
Please don't come to our house.
Yeah, don't come into my fucking territory.
Hey, you stepped
I'll
on
leave
my
you
rock.
alone, man. It's all good.
I'm sorry. I really like the like weird random side quest of that one orc that's like, hey, I'm ready to die. Fight me.
Yeah.
And you're what?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I don't want to die in my bed. Just fucking murder me.
That one was wild.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I mean, my character was like, yeah, gladly, I love killing.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
I will give you a warrior's death. Push him, like, just throw Dom off a cliff.
I love using like a really powerful shout on like a super weak person, which is really fucked up, but that's definitely something my character would do. Like, well, I do have fire breath. What if I just incinerated them on the spot?
I could level entire towns by screaming.
Yeah. Like, what if I just do this?
Yeah.
I love doing that shit.
It's so good.
Or like, you know the mission where you have to bring the dog to
Oh yeah, the guy near the Dark
one of the
Brotherhood.
Daedra, yeah, in the cave. And then he's like, kill the dog, and I'm like, sure.
Okay.
That's who my character is. Like, okay.
Yeah, I play that character a lot, like just okay. And like for the Dark Brotherhood quest line, where she's like, pick one, and just like, yeah, just murder all three of them. She's like, oh, very good.
That. I love the Dark Brotherhood storylines in all those games so
good.
Much. The Dark Brotherhood storyline specifically in Oblivion is very good.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I actually picked up Oblivion recently, and I'm thinking about playing through it.
Oblivion is not one of my favorite games in the series.
Yeah.
Because I really don't think that like that the Imperial Province is like a really interesting location.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of like it's because it's right in the middle of everything else. It has a little bit of Skyrim in it. It has a little bit of Elsewhere, a little bit of the forest where the Bosmer live, like a little bit of
Morrowind, it's dipping your toes into a bit of everything, but you're like, no, give me the Hammerfell, give me the Elsewhere. Elsewhere sounds like a fucking crazy ass place. Honestly, if you read the books. Really...
Oh yeah, Elsewhere sounds fucking awesome. It's kind of like what if Hammerfell, instead of being like a desert was like a Badlands,
Yeah,
and I'm like, that sounds fucking
we
cool.
put Mad Max in your old
Yeah,
timey.
Elsewhere kind of is like the Mad Max
Yeah,
land, isn't it? I'd really like to see an Elder Scrolls Hammerfell though,
you know what
because
I'd
that would
like
be
to
really
see? Outer Worlds.
Mm, I'd like an Elder Scrolls game set in mainland Morrowind too.
That was a
And you
segue to
could
the news.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Outer Worlds. There we go. New game from the developers of the original Fallout.
Yeah, the
So there you
original
go,
Fallout
Obsidian.
and Obsidian, which is the people who made Fallout New Vegas, which is just what people want,
Yeah, you mean the
honestly.
best Fallout game of the last decade.
Yeah, unanimously, no one
Nobody
except Todd
disagrees.
Coward disagrees.
Pretty
And
much.
honestly, it looks fucking crazy.
It looks so it's kind of like it's got the post-apocalyptic feel of Fallout.
But it's on like an alien planet with fuzz trees.
Yeah, it's got like really really strange kind of alien vegetation.
Yeah, and it
Uh,
seems
it's neat.
the gameplay videos seem to have a kind of Fallout New Vegas-y look and feel to them, which is good because that game feels great.
From what I understand, the premise is that you're like colonizing an alien planet, or
Yeah.
like it's a
It's
previously
it's
colonized alien planet.
it's still kind of unclear. The thing that I've heard, and I'm kind of reading as I'm talking, so, but a lot of the map is opened up right before you get your ship, so you don't have to follow
Okay,
the story immediately. It's very open world. It seems to be multiple planets.
that's fucking cool.
Yeah, so
Okay,
they're
well
they're
I guess
doing a
worlds,
No Man's Sky,
except
but
you know,
good.
good.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky is, from what I understand, a pretty great game nowadays. But
Yeah, well,
when it
with the updates,
launched,
but that's the thing. Like it updated enough that everything it promised is pretty much there now. But it's like you should have
but now this,
delayed the game by 4 years if that's what you
yeah,
needed.
the stink,
Yeah,
the stink is there.
and like I get that they received death threats because of like small delays, and like that's not
Mm.
cool. But those
Yeah, that
people
really
making
does
death
suck.
threats are fucking stupid, and like
Yeah, death
you
threats are dumb
probably
and for idiots.
you probably got an equal, if not more, amount of death threats after you released a live video game.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, so what we know about Outer Worlds right now, that was announced at the TGA, which we are also going to delve into very quickly and just talk about
Mhm.
the hype and stuff. But Outer Worlds is out in 2019, which is soon. Doesn't
Yeah,
say
and
when in
that's gonna be
2019.
really good. Like it's about time Obsidian made a new game.
Yeah, I imagine it'll probably be out mid 2019, like right in the
And
middle of the year.
I have, before we get to the Game Awards, I have
Yeah.
two more things I want to talk about, like
Okay.
in terms of game trailers that have come out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, Desert Child, which is a game that I've been following since it started development, has finally
Yes.
launched.
It looks so good. I've played a bit of it.
Yeah, I hear
It's
it's great.
it's essentially fucking like hover bike racing, the video game.
With kind of, from what I understand, it's got like a point and click style story.
Yeah. So
It's
you've
like
got
it's a
you've got
hover bike
the
racing game with point and click story.
yeah. Yeah, you've got the racing sections, and then you've got the like walking around town talking to NPCs and just doing your desert child thing.
So that sounds really fucking good. That has just launched, and the trailer that they released for it, like Akupara, the company that made it,
It's really
But-
fucking good.
yeah, it's kind of like a Cowboy Bebop tribute
Yeah,
in
it,
like every sense. It looks fucking awesome. And then another game that I've been following since it began development, Y2K, which is a Earthbound-ish kind of postmodern RPG, has finally gotten a release trailer for
oh
Switch.
my god, that's what it is.
Y2K is
I
a really
kept reading
fucking
it as
good-looking
Yick.
game. Yeah, it's Y2K. I know.
Yeah.
I read it as Yick too, but Y2K looks really really good.
Yeah, it's got a very like Donut County look to it.
Yeah, it's basically what if the aesthetic of Donut County married the like gameplay and humor of like Mother 3.
Yeah, it looks fucking good.
Yeah, it's set in the 90s. It's got like a I've played the demo. It's got a really fun battle system
I
that's
can
very much like Paper
only
Mario.
imagine the amount of fucking like callbacks and references that will be in this game. Like just in the trailer alone, like some
Yeah.
shit you're like, oh, that's good. Oh, I
It's total
recognize that.
insanity. It looks
Yeah.
fucking great. And then Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3
Yes.
was announced. It's being developed by Team Ninja,
Fucking finally.
which that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
is I guess like it's a sequel, but it's also kind of doing the thing that like a lot of Marvel stuff is doing now, where they're kind of doing Thanos stories.
yeah. It's. I feel like Marvel gives the contract out in being like, hey, we need the Infinity War shit
Stuff in
kind
it.
of in here
But
because
I honestly don't mind because they've
yeah.
never done it with that series.
Yeah, and like also
And
it's not a
yeah.
direct tie-in, which is the
Which is
good
nice.
point. It's just like,
We've
hey,
got
use
Wolverine. We've got Wolverine in there.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the other thing too that's nice is like the X-Men haven't really gotten anything in a while because Sony
Nor have the
owns
Fantastic
Fox.
Four, who are
Yeah.
also going to be in there. What I like the most about this game, or the prospect of this game coming out, not so much the game itself, is that Marvel has changed as a company so much since the last Ultimate Alliance games.
Yeah,
Like we have so many new, really great Marvel characters that they will definitely include, like Kamala Khan, who is one of my favorite Marvel superheroes of all time, Miss Marvel. We have Captain Marvel's, Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. That's fucking cool.
we got the
Um,
Guardians.
Yeah, we have the
That's
Guardians of the
fucking
Galaxy.
sick.
Their first time ever being in an Ultimate Alliance game.
Yup.
Like this is going to be a really, really fun time.
I really like that the camera angle is no longer super top down.
Yeah, it's
and
not
it's
default
more-
top
it's
down.
more
You can
third
have it in like
person.
the which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it looks great because that's
It
my
looks
main
really
gripe
good.
with the actual Avengers games is that like I just don't like the top-down view.
Yeah, and
I feel
it's
like
the
I
same
get
thing with
lost.
X-Men Legends.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like I just get lost if there's too much going on and like I lose my character.
Exactly.
And I know there's like a little glowy circle. It's just there's just so much glowy shit, you know?
Yeah, it's
can
really,
only
really
focus
difficult
so
to kind of
hard.
keep track.
Yeah. So having it
But,
third person is a
yeah.
good choice. The thing that strikes me as strange, but I get it because it's being produced by Nintendo, is that it is a Switch exclusive.
Yeah, which I mean, cool,
Yeah,
because I think
Mr.
that's going
owns
to
a
make some
Switch
people
is fine.
jealous.
Yeah, and like I think it will actually push some people to be like, fine, okay. Like I'll
Just-
get a Switch.
Ooh. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah,
And
I'm super.
this
super
is
hype.
this is one of the many things that were announced at the Game Awards,
Yes.
which I think it is time we talk about.
We have no choice because that's pretty much all the news there is this week anyway.
Oh yeah.
Just to bring it back to Outer Worlds just for a second, because I've found a list of cool shit that's gonna be in it.
Sure.
So you get special weapons. So there's like ridiculous weapons such as a shrink ray. There's gonna be full character
Nice.
creator, which makes sense. Your companions don't have separate inventory space, but taking companions does increase your inventory space. So like if you bring a bud, you have more inventory space, but you don't have to go drop shit off on the other person and take it off the other person. So I think that's really cool.
That's really fucking holy shit.
Poof. Negative point. No romancing companions.
That's just amazing.
I don't know why. Why would you not romance companions?
Here's the thing. I like that they're going for, I think, the space isolation kind of thing.
Maybe.
And they can always mod it in later.
Yeah.
But
There's gonna be
I
mods.
like the idea of them being in kind of an isolated space. Like that's what I liked about No Man's Sky. I liked that you were pretty much alone in the world. That was one of the things that almost sold me on the game until I heard that it was, an underdeveloped, undercooked mess.
Yeah.
But
Everything
that got
else
me
seems
really,
pretty
really
generic.
excited.
Yeah, everything else seems pretty generic about Outer Worlds Outer Worlds. I'm pretty stoked for that game. Now let's see what we got in other TGA news. Where'd the fucking list of shit go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So there's too much. I guess we can go with like the one that made me go oh fuck the most, and
Yeah.
that is Joker being in Smash.
Yes. So, for those who don't know who Joker is, it is the alias of the main protagonist in Persona 5. He is a phantom thief, and he, of course, has the power to invoke his persona, Arsène Lupin. But he
Yes.
also has a whole bunch of other abilities, and he can invoke multiple personas.
He has gun shoot bang.
Yeah, and he has sword slash cutting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun character to see, and like the the notion of having personas in a Smash game
Oh
is
god.
fucking cool.
It's just gonna be really, really cool.
Like, I wonder if it'll work kind of like Pokemon Trainer, where you can take him out for a bit, have him do some
Mhm.
moves. Uh, like it's still unclear, clearly. Um,
Mhm.
but that fucking reveal trailer was the hypest shit because it just came on and I was like, oh okay, a Persona Q2 trailer, that's fine. And then he flips the fucking letter over and I just started fucking losing my shit. Uh, and I either thought it was gonna be a port of 5 over to the Switch,
Yeah, that's what
which
I thought too initially.
yeah, which would have been also okay, but him being in Smash is crazy. Uh, I feel like this just means that anyone can get into Smash now, almost. Because Persona Q2's been out for like not even a month yet, and generally the rule is you have to be on a Nintendo console.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, that's gonna be a fucking thing. I'm super excited to see how that plays. Need to get a Switch to be able to play it now.
Oh, jeez.
Oh god. Whew. Yeah, there was that. There was also MK11, which that music though,
Oh yeah.
that was I don't know why they picked that music, but they did.
I mean, I like that. I like that song, so I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I mean, I also just like Mortal Kombat, and I'll watch and play anything Mortal Kombat because I want to say, despite whatever popular opinion might be about how those games play, like clunky as they are my favorite fighting games in terms of just the world
Yeah,
that they have. I love NetherRealm. Like, I mean, maybe I'm a stupid dumb edgelord at heart because I like NetherRealm's games, but I mean, I love Street Fighter too. Don't get me wrong, but like, if somebody asked me gun to my head if I preferred Street Fighter or if I preferred Mortal Kombat, it's Mortal Kombat till I
yeah.
die.
I'll
I
pick
love
Street
Mortal
Fighter, but
Kombat.
I like Mortal Kombat a lot though. I
I
think
love
it's
those
really cool.
characters.
They're doing the time travel thing again because you've got old school Scorpion and new Scorpion in that trailer.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it'll be fucking cool to have a new Mortal Kombat finally after I think like 4 years almost, something like that. Three,
Yes.
something like that. 10
And I
was
think it's just going to be really, really exciting.
yeah. Ed Boon's fucking super big lies continue to make me happy.
Yeah, that's just gonna, I think it's just gonna kick a lot of ass.
Yeah.
Just, I'm gonna have a fucking good time with a new MK game. Hope it gets ported to Switch.
Probably
'Cause
Nintendo and Mortal.
I want a complete port of Injustice 2 for the Switch. It's
Uh,
like, since all the DLC is out now,
yeah,
I'd love that.
maybe. I feel
That'd
like
be
that
really
depends
fun.
more on Warner Brothers and
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Well, hopefully it
Uh,
happens because I really love that fucker.
they put a real
I-
car in Rocket League for some reason. Not to spend
They
too
put a
much
real
time on
car in
that,
Rocket.
but
I don't fucking care about that.
yeah, that's
I
like
mean,
when
not to say I don't care about Rocket League because Rocket League's good, but
I don't-
who
like
cares?
what it's like when they put the fuck the BMW in Mario Kart racing, and it was like okay, no one's gonna
Mhm.
use that ever.
Like, it's just looks like ugly and clashes with
Yeah,
the aesthetic of the
it's
game.
super weird.
Also, just like, who cares about real cars? I don't fucking give a shit.
There's car people somewhere. Not here.
Ugh.
Not in this chat room.
Yeah, exactly.
Psychonauts 2 was announced.
That is, yes, that's very exciting.
Yeah, that's super exciting. That's been
What's your relationship with Psychonauts?
not super deep. I remember playing it a bit when I was younger, but it was on a rental, so I never got to finish it.
Oh, okay.
Because we had to bring it back, and I never ended up buying it. I actually recently got it on Steam, and have just been waiting for a day where I'm like, you know what? Let's go. Let's see what's up.
The first time I ever played it was also through Steam, the
Oh,
recent
yeah.
re-release. But I really enjoy it. What a fun, unique game.
Yeah, I like
It is.
the concept of having the levels be what people's minds are.
It breaks up the generic. Like I'm not a huge fan of like the collectathon platformer kind of
Yeah.
genre, and this does a good job of being that kind of game, while also actually being good.
Yeah, like bringing some originality to it.
Like I think I'm very infamously known amongst people to not be a huge fan of like Banjo-Kazooie. Like it's just not a game for me. Like I don't enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean,
I
thought
obviously
I
see
thought
it.
I would defend Banjo-Kazooie till my deathbed, and me and my old roommate played through it like recently, and like the first levels are fine, they're great, they're fun, and then you get to like the end game and you're like, this is so
It's tedious.
so bad. Yeah, and
The game is legitimately tedious.
yeah.
I don't like Donkey Kong 64 very much either.
Yeah.
The only collectathon games I ever liked were like the Mario 3D platformers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like them because I
'Cause they're
feel like they have
polished.
enough Nintendo charm to like
Yeah.
suck me in.
Exactly.
But I was never terribly fond of Banjo or Donkey Kong. It's like the rare platformers, I guess. But I do really like Psychonauts. It's a unique kind of spin on that genre of game, and it really is like nothing else I've ever played. From its aesthetic to its kind of concept of going into people's minds and like their inner personality, kind of defining what kind of world you go to. Really cool idea, and it works very well.
Because they
So
did it right.
yeah. Exactly, they did a very good job. So yeah, I'm excited to play Psychonauts 2. I hope it's great. I hope it comes out on Switch.
It probably will. I feel like that's one
I
of the
think it-
ones
I
that you
think it
can like
might.
put money on that it will.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an exclusive.
Me either.
Yeah. I mean, if it would be like a Sony exclusive, but I doubt it would be. And what else do we have to say? Well, the new Far Cry,
Oh yeah, the new Far Cry seems fucking lit. It is.
it's really interesting. Like, what a
Uh,
cool idea for a Far Cry game.
It seems, yeah, it's not going back in the past or being modern. It's a little more apocalyptic, from what I saw anyway. I didn't really look too
But
deep
it's
into
also
it.
it's kind of like a pastel apocalypse.
Yeah, it's the kind of apocalypse that I'd be like, all right, aesthetically this is fine, but I'm hungry.
It looks really pretty. Like there's lots of kind of fun pastel colors, like lots of pinks and lush greens,
Yeah.
and a beautiful blue sky. It looks really nice.
Top tier
it's
color palette for sure.
it's very different kind of looking apocalypse from the stuff that we're typically used to. And some of those weapons are fucking insane. Like the buzzsaw launching crossbow.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
excessive, but all right. I'm in.
I'm into it.
I love
it's got,
ridiculous
like,
weapons like that.
it's got like crazy wildlife. You have like a big silly kind of Hummer type car to drive around in. I think it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think
don't
this will
even
be a good one.
I don't typically enjoy the Far Cry games because they always kind of blend together for me, especially the last couple of them.
Yeah.
Like whenever you're not taking out some fucking despot, and like or going out and killing a bunch of like, racist militias.
Or burning weed crops to Skrillex.
Yeah, oh my god. Actually though.
Yeah,
thing that they
actually
did.
though.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
I always saw the Far Cry games, cause I don't remember if they came out before or after Dead Island, but I always saw them as the same kind of game as Dead Island, where it's just a bunch of fetch quests, and sometimes shit gets in the way. And I've never played any Far Cry because of that, but aesthetically this one has wowed me enough to maybe take a look at it.
Yeah. That definitely has impressed me, I think, with its visuals. I certainly hope that it is as good as it seems like it's going to be. But
Yeah,
yeah, it seems kind of like a first for the series that they've never been ones to shy away from kind of doing that vibrant kind of aesthetic for what I recall, which is I think that was the one with the Himalayan kind of setting, I think.
yeah, I believe so.
That one
Oh, you're getting all
pastoral
choppy.
vibrance to it, but it also was just kind of a boring generic game within the series.
Yeah.
Like Far Cry 3 is just kind of, hey, we're on an island. I know Blood Dragon had that cool aesthetic. Blood Dragon is
Oh
the
well,
best Far
Blood
Cry game.
Dragon was just fucking like. I feel like the developers of Blood Dragon. I think the studio was just straight up like, you can do whatever you want, just fucking go in, and they just made the most ridiculous DLC that exists.
Mhm. But
Uh,
all I have to say is just like that seems really really fun.
it,
I'm
it
excited to see what they're going to be doing.
yeah, it'll be a good time.
Hopefully it is as good as it seems like.
I feel like there's
What
something else.
there was something else on the docket, I think. I mean, Game of the Year went to Breath of the Wild, didn't it? No, it went to no, Game of the Year went to
I think it was Red Dead.
no, it was Game God of War.
Oh yes, it was God of War.
God of War. God of War. That why did I think it said Breath of the Wild? Fuck. Big game, same thing.
Big game kill gods.
Yeah,
Mm.
kill evil man, same thing. What did you think of
Sword.
God of War? Did you play a little
I
bit of it?
didn't play it. I watched the Super Best Friends Let's Play.
As did I.
Um, it seemed all right. It seemed fine. I might have liked it better if I played it myself, but
I liked the smaller kind of story they told.
yeah.
That's I like the setting a lot.
I mean, I fell out halfway through the Let's Play, so I like I don't
I like the
know how it
idea
ends or
of
anything like story
I like
wise,
the
but
I like that you fought Baldur multiple times.
yeah.
I really liked Baldur as a character. Actually, fun fact: the guy who plays Baldur in God of War is the guy who plays John Deegan in Elseworlds.
Oh shit.
So the villain of the Elseworlds show is basically Baldur from God of War, and he brings that kind of unstable, fucked up energy to him.
Strange crossover confirmed.
Oh yeah, like it's really really cool. I super enjoyed it, but I don't know,
Yeah.
it just kicks a lot of ass.
I really don't think Red Dead 2 should have won the music award.
No, I agree too. I also
I
just I don't think Red Dead has very good music.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's the set it like it's tonally perfect, you know? Like it goes with the setting of being cowboy man, shoot bang. But I don't think it's game of the year, and especially since they fucking sandbagged Nier Automata last year so hard.
Yeah, that was just really
It was weird.
disappointing.
Yeah.
So best ongoing game, Fortnite won because it seems like, from what I can tell, these guys are in bed with Epic Games.
No. Well, I mean, Fortnite won. Wait. Whoa, sorry, I zoned out. Fortnite won what now?
Best ongoing game.
Oh, okay. Yes.
But
Yeah.
I'm honestly really surprised. Even though I know it's hugely popular, and this year was
I'm
like a big year for it.
Not surprised
But
at
I'm
all.
I'm genuinely shocked Overwatch didn't win.
Nah. Um, Overwatch is still pretty ongoing, but I feel like a lot of it died out, especially this year.
Really?
Yeah. Like I know there's
Hmm.
still a community, but I don't know anyone who personally still plays.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Uh,
and I
best
know they're
game
still
direct.
doing stuff, but
Yeah. Best game direction went to God of War, which I think it deserved.
yeah, I'm glad it
The
wasn't
other
Detroit.
the other nominees were A Way Out, Detroit, which definitely shouldn't even been nominated, Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah,
I think Spider-Man was pretty good. and
Spider-Man could have been okay.
it had a good chance of winning, and A Way Out also kind of had a good chance.
I don't remember who
but
won.
I think that God of War really deserved it.
I don't remember who won Best Voice Actor. I think it was Red Dead 2 again, because Red
I
Dead 2
believe it
just
did.
fucking sweeped this year.
Best narrative went to Red Dead 2.
Yeah, like Red Dead
And,
cleaned house.
Best art direction. I don't even know why some of these games were nominated. Like the only games that I think in the best art direction category that should have been nominated were Octopath and Return of the Obra Dinn.
Yeah, Return of the
Obra
Dinn
Dinn, it won. So there we go.
which was good.
Yeah,
because
that was a
it,
good looking game.
Yeah,
I cannot believe that best score went to Red Dead above Octopath, above Ni no Kuni, and above Celeste.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Celeste has an amazing soundtrack.
I
think
haven't played Celeste, and I've listened to that
Celeste
soundtrack 100 times at least.
Celeste should have won hands down.
Yeah,
And like Octopath had an amazing soundtrack as well.
I liked it for the music thing. They had her on stage, like actually doing it, and it wasn't just some rando.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Best audio design went to Red Dead, which I don't know. Best performance went to Roger Clark as Arthur in Red Dead.
Yeah, which is disappointing because Yuri should have got this one because he recorded lines twice for like if Spider-Man's exerting himself, he'll sound like he's actually doing shit, and if he's just standing around, he just sounds like he's just standing around. It's fucking that's crazy.
Yuri, either Yuri or Christopher Judge should have won.
Yeah,
because I think Kratos was really good and got this time around as well.
Yeah.
Games for impact, so games with social meaning and messages. Thank fuck, for Christ's sake, I'm so happy that Detroit was not nominated there. And Celeste won, and that deserves it, because Celeste was a very meaningful game in that sense. And best indie game, Celeste also won, but it won over Obra Dinn, The Messenger, Into the Breach, and Dead Cells. I think if it wasn't going to be Dead Cells, it was going to be Celeste. So,
I would have said The Messenger. I really thought The Messenger was solid.
I know people that didn't like The Messenger.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of see why they didn't, but yeah, I thought it was really good too. I know that you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I fucking like it. It's a good game.
Best mobile game went to Florence. I can't say I've played Florence, but I think it might have deserved it.
Yeah, I can't
Donut County, Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, and the really weird Game of Thrones stupid mobile game for idiots. Yeah. So I think Florence or Donut County were the only two deserving of the award. So I'm glad that Florence won.
Yeah.
Best VR game went to Astrobot Rescue Mission, which I have no idea what it is.
It's like a 3D platformer where you help a little robot go to the end of the level. It's kind of a speedrunny thing. It's really cool. It looks nice, and it's not.
I'm surprised Tetris Effect didn't win, because that was very impressive from what I heard.
Yeah, I think it was maybe released too recently, and I know that like Tetris is kind of a niche thing where it's like you're either in or you're like I don't care.
Yeah. Best action game went to Dead Cells, which makes me really happy.
Yeah.
Because I think it deserves it wholeheartedly, especially considering
fucking kills, man.
Like the other games nominated, with the exception of Mega Man 11, don't deserve it. Like, fuck Call of Duty Black Ops. Nobody cares about Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah.
I think Fortnite has literally killed Call of Duty. Thank Christ. Far Cry 5, which, although I gotta say, Ubisoft Montreal, hometown.
Yeah.
But also, it doesn't deserve Best Action Game. Mega Man 11 was really, really good, and Dead Cells was good.
I don't know if I would have put Mega Man 11 up there, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I
don't
really
know. I
enjoyed
haven't
it.
played it yet either.
It's
just
a really solid game.
It seems like a weird category for Mega Man 11 to be in, but
Why? Action game? That's like the genre of game it is. It's an action game.
I guess.
Because action adventure is different, right? Because action adventure
was... Oh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Was Assassin's Creed, God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Never mind, I brain farted
which, of course,
hard.
God of War won that one.
Yeah.
I think it deserved it.
Yeah, I heard good things about the new Tomb Raider,
was also
but,
good. Spider-Man was a shoo-in for it, I think, too, but it didn't win, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Best RPG went to Monster Hunter World.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd call Monster Hunter an RPG.
Oh, it is, buddy.
It is?
Yeah.
I've always kind of assumed that it's more like more like an action RPG than anything, but definitely not. I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't think Octopath deserved it. I do, however, think that Dragon Quest deserved it.
Yeah, I guess for storyline, it's not that heavy for Monster Hunter, you know. So like that's what you're
Also,
kind of atoning to
there's
an
a big
RPG.
bias against there's a big bias against JRPGs in the West.
Yeah.
Like people don't like JRPGs and think they're nerd shit for the most part. So it is kind of surprising that Monster Hunter won. But
Mhm.
it's also the least JRPG of all these RPGs.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it won. And like Dragon Quest over here is very not what it is in Japan. Because in Japan, when
I
a Dragon
know.
Quest comes out, Japan stops.
Japan shuts down.
Yeah,
the country.
everything is closed.
Didn't they even have to literally change release laws for games? Like release date
Uh,
laws because of how popular Dragon Quest was and
yeah,
people were like
something like that.
bunking off work.
I can't remember the exact thing, but
We have best fighting game was Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball Fighters, Soul Calibur 6 and Street Fighter.
and Dragon
Dragon
Ball
Ball
Fighters
Fighters
takes
won.
it fucking home, no contest.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
not
even know why
not
anyone
even
else
a
showed up.
question. Yeah, I mean they were going up against their own game, Soul Calibur and Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball wins,
yeah.
and cross tag battle is not a very good game.
No, it's not a good fighting game.
But
It's
it does
it's
make-
very bare
it
bones.
does- It does make me want an Arxis developed Ruby fighting game though.
Man, fucking a few weeks ago I had a dream. I don't know why I had this dream, but I had a dream that Arxis was like, "Hey, we're making a JoJo fighter," and I was just like, "Yes!"
That would make me literally come in my pants. That
Yeah,
would be
I
amazing.
just thinking
Holy
about
shit.
it makes me all giddy. It's not even a thing that it's happening. Ugh,
I wish. Best family game went to Overcooked 2.
which makes sense.
Which- Yeah, from what I understand, Overcooked is a very good
What were
game.
the other nominees?
Mario Tennis Aces, The Labo, Starlink, and Mario Party.
Yeah, no, Overcooked 2 makes the
Starlink is
most sense.
Starlink is crap.
Labo's alright, but I don't think it did
it-
exceptionally well.
Labo is for very young kids. It's very cool. It's a great kind of fun idea,
Yeah.
and it is genuinely innovative.
hmm
But it is also just not as good as some of these other things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's better than Starlink. Starlink is fucking shit.
What is Starlink?
It's that like Toys to Life space fighter game.
Oh yeah, with the fucking
it's
error.
really bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. But Overcooked deserves it. I think that's a very good game, and it's nice that it didn't go to like a Nintendo game. you
Yeah.
know? And then best strategy game. The nominations were strong. It was Banner Saga 3, BattleTech, Frostpunk, Into the Breach, and Valkyria Chronicles. And of course, because Valkyria Chronicles being the best game here, not winning, is a shoe in for the bias. Into the Breach won. It deserves it. It's a good game.
Yeah, Into the Breach is
It
great.
is. It is nowhere near as good as Valkyria Chronicles 4. will
I have
tell you that
not
right now.
played Valkyria, but so I'll
Valkyria-
have to check
Valkyria
that out.
Chronicles are some of the most polished strategy games ever made. They're very good.
But they got the
Um,
anime ladies, so we can't. I don't like it. It's too
Yeah, exactly.
anime.
It's too Japanese for
Yeah.
these for these gaijin idiots.
Yeah, as well as
best-
the Japan
best
only had
sports
like.
game went, best sports game went to Forza, which I heard was really good. Forza Horizon.
Okay, yeah.
I heard that was excellent, and the
Yeah.
rest of them were just like FIFA, Mario Tennis, NBA, and I'm like, I don't
Sports
care about
games.
any of these sports games.
Mario Tennis was probably pretty okay.
Honestly, unless it's like a Mario arcadey type sports game, just play a sport.
Yeah.
If I want to play a sport, I'll play a sport. Fuck, I don't play a sport game. Best multiplayer games. Is that a controversial opinion? Just play a sport?
Just play a sport.
don't
Just
think it is.
play a sport.
Doesn't strike me as controversial.
Nah, I don't think
it's
that's
not
a hot take.
Yeah, that's a very cold take. That's about
Yeah.
as cold a take. That's as cold a take as the fucking ground outside. So best multiplayer games: Call of Duty, Destiny 2, Fortnite, Monster Hunter, and Sea of Thieves.
Gee,
Well, I think it was safe to say that Sea of Thieves was not going to win.
I didn't even know that game still existed. Poor
and
Rare.
Fortnite, of course, Fortnite won.
Yeah.
Best student game. So this is best student project created at a high school or college level. I didn't even know this is a category, and it's very cool that it was.
Yeah.
A game called Combat 2018 won. I don't know what this is.
What were the other nominees? Was this
The
even
other
announced
nominees were-
at the award show?
Yeah, Recharge, Lith, Jera, Dash Quasar, and Combat 2018.
Oh, I must
So
have
Combat
gone to the
2018
bathroom during this part because I don't remember that at all.
I don't know if they even present that. Best debut indie games were Donut County, Florence, Moss, and The Messenger,
I think the
and
messenger
Yoku's
wins.
Island Express, and The Messenger won.
Yeah.
So there you go, picked up an award.
Yeah, got one.
I'm actually surprised Donut County didn't win.
That game is a little underwhelming, although very fun.
No, that's a pity.
Yeah.
Best esports, of course, went to Overwatch, which I think makes
Yeah.
sense because it's still one of the biggest esports games right now.
And it's more
but
fun to watch than LOL.
The most important award, best esports player,
Yeah, SonicFox!
fucking SonicFox,
And that
bitch!
destroys Twitter for
Yeah,
until
SonicFox.
today, pretty much.
SonicFox did the most noble thing possible.
Oh, it was so cute and heartwarming.
used his platform to go up and say fuck conservatism.
He just stood up there and was like, "Yeah, I'm a black gay furry. I'm gay as fuck. Oh man, so gay." It's like, yeah.
And then he proceeded to go on Twitter and went like, I don't hate Republicans, but if I had the Infinity Gauntlet,
yeah. Just the whole fucking, oh man, it's so good. And then you just look in that tweet and you've got a bunch of like conservative furries that are like, "Hey man, I don't just keep your politics out of video games, man." It's like, what?
He's just like, "Oh, my politics, you mean my existence?"
Yeah.
Anyway, SonicFox, fucking brilliant. I love that motherfucker.
So good.
Then like so many like bad faith people came out being like, "Yeah, but he did this one shitty thing once," or like, and then Ian Miles Chong, being the biggest idiot in the fucking world, going on and on, going like, "Conservatives are gamers too," and basically
Stop
posting
oppressing me.
Yeah, stop oppressing me. Basically posting like unironic "gamers rise up" type shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, that gave us like a good week of online entertainment.
Oh man,
So thank you,
I think
SonicFox.
it's still going pretty strong. But yeah, big
Yeah.
ups to SonicFox. I fucking
Also-
love that he put his fucking suit on, just the mask, but like just put the
Yeah.
mask on to go up there and be like, "Hey, what's that?" Yeah, and he was like, "I can't tell where the mic is now. I gotta take it off."
I love this motherfucker
It's so good.
much.
He deserved
And
it.
he's a cutie. I love him.
Oh man, he
He's
was
like
so
a-
happy. It was genuinely heartwarming to see him just that
is.
hype.
He's a great esports player. Like
Yeah.
he is honestly one of the best fighting game players on the planet right now.
Yeah.
He kicks ass. Like I love him.
What was it? I can't remember what tournament it was, but he won and he just came back onto Twitter and just not frame by frame, but like move by move pictured the winning combo with I think it's Gohan.
Yeah.
And like it was great. It was just an entire thread of like this move, this move, this move,
And he
this
is
move.
the world
That's it.
champion of 2 really good fighting games because he's the DBZ world champion and he's the Injustice 2 world champion,
Yeah.
which is fucking awesome. So yeah, SonicFox kicks ass. Best esports team, don't give a shit, so I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
read
just
it.
skip that.
Best esports coach,
Yeah.
literally you do nothing. Best esports event, I do not give a fuck.
Wait, was it Evo?
It was not. It was League of Legends.
Ugh.
So who cares?
Yeah. Get out of my
Best
face.
esports host, I do not give a fuck. Although it did go to a woman, which is cool.
I think like the rest of this list is pretty.
Yeah. Best esports moment, who cares? Content creator of the year went to Ninja, even though he literally does
Boo.
not create content at all.
Boo.
Also, he says the N-word, so fuck him.
Also, fucking. Anyway, yeah, that's a whole.
Anyway,
Fuck that guy.
Ninja sucks. Content
Hot
creation
take.
should actually involve creating content. Like, come on. He doesn't make anything. He plays fucking Fortnite. Who cares?
Yeah, but he. Yeah, no, fuck. There's. He's.
Ninja's a
Bootlicker.
shitty white
Bootlicker.
fuck. Like nobody should give a shit about him.
Yeah.
He's so unimportant in like.
It was
the
really
grand
weird
scheme
seeing
of everything.
Jacksepticeye up there too while we're talking about
Yeah.
game things.
Also, another person who isn't really a content creator.
Yeah.
Like, Jacksepticeye pisses me off because he's basically just he plays into that Irish stereotype. Oh, diddly fucking D.
Yeah.
You know, like
Scream into
talks
my
like a-
microphone.
Yeah, screaming, talks like a fucking leprechaun. Like, go fuck yourself.
He's
man.
probably a nice guy, but I just
Like,
your content's
know, I
not
don't-
great.
Yeah, he's not a content creator. Like,
Yeah.
I don't consider.
Well, I don't know.
I don't really consider people who make let's plays only content creators.
Yeah.
Like there's no content. You're not generating content. You are enjoying somebody else's content. I don't think I'd call you a content creator. You know?
God. Yeah.
Just like fuck. Honestly. It's really I don't care. I think let's plays are bad. I enjoy quite a few of them, but also all of the people that I watch who are let's players are also content creators. Like all of the super best friends are great content creators. Like fucking Wooly is a fantastic video essayist.
Except for Pat.
Pat and Liam are mostly just streamers, but they also don't purport that they're content creators, you know?
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous. So
Sorry, I just had
like-
like a crazy coughing fit.
it's
I
all-
muted
it's
my
all
mic,
good.
so
But
Jesus.
yeah, like I don't consider you a content creator if you don't actually create content.
Yeah.
So that's fucking really ridiculous. And stupid that is even an award given out if the people who are nominated for it are streamers and not people who actually make content. Like if you know what? Here, let me do my own content creator award right now. I'd say the award for me for best content creator of the year would go to
I'm gonna do a hot take and say Matt McMuscles.
Matt McMuscles has made some very good content. However, he has not made anything I think as pertinent as the best video I've watched all year, like online video,
Yeah.
which was a video by the Pedantic Romantic. And if I can just find the name of the video so I could recommend it to all of you. But she is consistently one of my favorite anime YouTubers. But her and her partner Zaria have made a lot of really, really great content over the last couple of years. The last year, really, particularly, has been very strong for both of them. But Pedantic Romantic just about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, released a video called Traps Don't Exist and Here's Why.
Oh yeah.
And I think it might be one of the best videos made over the course of the year because of the way that it approaches that discourse and basically in like every instance where it could be applied takes apart that whole thing, just completely dismantles the trap myth, you know?
Yeah, big air quotes.
And I think that was really, really cool because, of course, it's literally just a slur, but so many people insist that it is not, and they are wrong. And it
Yeah.
is very hard when you have dumb brain like me to explain to people exactly why, just not only on an ethical and moral level, but on a historical, factual level that is wrong.
Yeah.
And so she did a very good job in 19 minutes explaining and deconstructing that slur
I'm gonna have
in a
to
very
watch
effective manner. It's very good. So that, to me, would just grant her the award for best content creator.
Fair
But-
enough.
There's a whole bunch of other great content out there. I mean,
Yeah,
John
this-
Eyepatch Wolf did a really good job,
Mother's
you know?
Basement hits the ball
of course,
out of the park
and
pretty much every time.
all the time. And Zaria, of course, her partner. Mother's Basement has been making great content this year. It's been a very strong year for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, Super Eye Patch Wolf has been great. Matt McMuscles and Wooly both have been generating some fantastic work.
Some fantastic hot garbage that I love.
Matt has been on a roll this year.
Yeah, he's
He has made some
fucking
great
doing work,
stuff.
man.
Lindsay Ellis has been particularly strong this year, and she's always strong.
Yeah.
But Lindsay has been just fantastic thus far. So that was really, really, really cool. Of course, ContraPoints has been making some good content. Jack Saint, who is a creator I just got into,
Yeah.
has been over the last couple of weeks, like not for very long, only for a couple of months now, been producing some of the best video essay content on the website.
Sick.
Um,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh yeah, Renegade Cut, my favorite movie-related
Yes.
channel,
Very good.
has been producing even just last week released I think and it's only 7 minutes. It's one of his shortest videos, but it's called "It's a Wonderful Life, Comrade," and it is literally a Marxist analysis of It's a Wonderful Life and Christmas movies, and explaining the kind of history of the Red Scare and how it affected those early Hollywood films. And that
Yeah.
was just fantastic to me. Like, really, really a brilliant video. And also, his podcast has been very good this year too. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts this year. Those have been great.
It's the
Like
year
they,
of the
yeah,
podcast. Yeah, podcasts and like actual YouTube content seems to be picking up uh quite a bit
oh yeah, like
in the
it's
past
been
couple
fantastic.
years. Yeah.
I mean, this is also a year that I've seen some of my favorite content creators release like films. Renegade
Yeah.
Cut released a film, and it was amazing. It was called Left Behind in the Translation of God, and it is a feature-length episode of his show, which breaks down the history of like rapture lore in contemporary religion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's basically a work of comparative religious studies from a leftist angle that approaches the subject with a lot of reverence and respect and intelligence, while at the same time debunking the inherent like irreligious nonsense that it is.
Yeah.
So it's been a fantastic year for content creators. It's really, really good, and for people making social justice type content too. It's been a very strong year.
It's a woke
Like
year.
leftist YouTube has apparently grown by at least by like half of what it was doing last year in terms of how many videos and how many creators are putting out good work.
Yeah.
And like apparently like LeftTube in general has been gaining steady popularity and overtaking shitty, annoying, like skeptic right-wing idiot YouTube, which is really nice. So people like fucking Sargon of Akkad and Jordan Peterson are not doing okay, and that is really cool. So it has been a very, very strong year for content creation. So for somebody like Ninja to win an award like that just goes to show you how little reverence the Games Awards actually have,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
for
the thing
that
that's cool
content.
about the Game Awards is that it's kind of it's like blind write-ins from like 69 different companies, but
Mhm.
I feel the reason Ninja won is kind of like a well, who else is on the list for that anyway?
A bunch of people who literally don't make content either.
Okay, so it's all like streamers. So it should
Yeah.
technically the category should be top streamer. So I guess given that they just pick the most popular person.
Yes.
It's like Ninja. Like I don't know anyone who is aware of streaming who doesn't know Ninja. Love him or hate him, you know. Like it's like, oh, it's Ninja. I know that guy.
hmm Just like, oh my god, you know,
Yeah.
poop.
And like the fact
All I
that
have-
like I think like 40 something of the blind writing companies are actually North American
Yeah.
and European, like a mix
Mhm.
of the two, like that definitely throws the balance a bit that way.
Yeah. Oh, I also have to say, I had I just got some news for upcoming DC Universe show.
Oh yeah, the
So Stargirl will be coming out next year, and they just announced who is playing Starman, who is like the predecessor. It's gonna be Joel McHale, like Joel McHale from Community.
Wait, no. What?
Yeah, playing Starman.
Okay.
That's really interesting.
can see it kind of.
I mean, Starman works,
Just put him in a suit. Put him in the suit, it'll
Yeah.
be fine.
and he's gonna be a Star-Spangled Man.
Oh, he's
Starman
gonna,
is a really cool character. He basically has like a cosmic staff.
there's
that
gonna
gives him
be definitely one joke that is a jab at Tyra Banks.
I see it happening. I see it
Putting
happening.
$20 now. There's gonna be somehow. It could be the most obscure shit ever, but
But it will happen.
it's in there.
So yeah, that was just a really fantastic little bit of news. Do we have one more little bit of meme news? I think here.
What are you talking about?
A certain film is coming out, and has released a
Oh
I want to say
God.
controversial poster.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know why that took me so long. So the
'Cause
Sonic
you
movie.
blocked it out of your mind.
Yeah, I did. The Sonic movie released a teaser quote unquote poster, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah.
Everybody, just look up if you haven't seen it.
Oh my God, someone edited into Smash. Just
Oh,
for the picture of the pose. It's a not great silhouette of a thinly muscular
uh,
hedgehog. I don't know how I
uh,
feel. I saw someone post like a picture of a picture of Detective Pikachu, a picture of the Lion King, and a picture of the Sonic thing, and just being like, "What is happening?" And all I could think was the '90s HD.
Jesus Christ! It really is just kind of, what if Sonic became a terrifying monstrosity?
I don't. Why are his legs muscular? Just make him cartoony like he
I think
is.
this is a very good visual representation of what people were afraid that the Pokemon movie was going to look like.
Yeah. So Pokemon movie did it good. Sonic fucked it up.
Yeah, this
But so
looks
far,
really
like
ugly and
I'm
really scary.
keeping kind of a hope in the back of my mind of being like maybe they'll fix it. Maybe the backlash, because like I all I can hope is someone at Sega is like, oh God, we got to redo the whole movie because it's done.
Oh boy.
Uh,
It's just it's creepy. It's really
it
creepy.
really is, and the fan art is not any better.
Just it's really terrifying. It's really terrifying. I I I don't even know what to say about it apart from it's really
There's not
fucking
much to say.
scary.
The only thing that I have to say about it is, all right, we got Sonic. Now envision Knuckles, envision Tails, envision Amy. Like this movie is gonna be a fucking horror movie.
Mhm.
Assuming they do get like, what if you get cheese in there? Cheese? What the fuck is cheese gonna look like?
Yeah. I I I don't even know what to say. Except this is terrifying. Like this is terrifying.
It's not gonna be great.
It's not going to be good at all. This is going to be very bad. It's going to be horrifying. I it this is not a good idea. I don't know why they'd proceed. You know? I don't know why.
Yeah,
Why would you proceed?
I really hope they just kind of back down for a minute and reassess. But apparently, that's not gonna happen because there's another poster of those beautiful legs hanging off the Golden Gate Bridge,
Yeah. Just oof.
and they look muscly and gross. This movie's gonna be a mess. I'm gonna go see it twice.
Yeah. This is going to be a really scary film, and I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
And I'm going to enjoy it.
I'm gonna love every second of this fear. I
Oh
also
God.
just like I don't know where they're gonna go with the plot. Uh, isn't who's playing fucking Robotnik again? It's
Jim Carrey.
yeah, Jim Carrey's Robotnik. Like this movie is setting itself up to be a meme.
Yeah, it's really just Jesus. I do have one more thing I want to talk about before we end this week.
Yeah, go for it.
There's a very interesting documentary series I started watching. It is on YouTube. It is free. It is on a channel called SB Nation, which is a sports focused YouTube channel and not esports like sports.
Ball sport.
But it approaches sports from a critical leftist perspective.
Hmm.
And the creator, John Boyes, released a 5-part mini documentary called Fighting in the Age of Loneliness, which is a series that examines the origins of the UFC and I guess kind of examines the notions of masculinity that parented UFC and kind of how it was hijacked by corporate structure and turned into kind of a media empire.
Okay, yeah.
But it approaches, yeah, it's this channel that approaches sports from like a leftist perspective that typically I wouldn't watch a sports channel. I'm not interested in sports. But John Boyes has been making some really, really interesting, like kind of left wing sports content in the past couple of years. And this is a channel I've had recommended to me a couple of times that I've never really followed through watching until now. But all I have to say is that this is a really, really interesting kind of series to do. And it approaches, I want to say, the links between conservatism and ultimate fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really interesting. Because, I mean, I don't know if you're aware of this, but do you know who it was that basically bailed UFC out and turned it into the business that it is now?
I do not.
It was Donald Trump.
Whoa.
Yeah. So there is a lot to unpack there.
Wow.
And
That's some news.
it's a very, very interesting little analysis, I want to say, of that kind of thing. It's 5 parts. It's relatively long. Each episode's about 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
But it's called Fighting in the Age of Lonely, and I would highly recommend it.
I will have to check that out. Would you say the would you say
The channel is called
was
SB Nation.
SB Nation. All right.
SB Nation. And it's a pretty popular sports channel, but this is something that I never expected I'd watch, but it was fascinating. Utterly fascinating.
And I find it's really cool to break down toxic masculinity in a sport that is testosterone drenched.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like I mean, testosterone fuels
Like-
this sport.
Like, I feel like there's some kayfabe to MMA, but it's lost on the actual fighters.
And it's totally lost, I think, on the
Everyone.
audience.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Because
like,
I mean, who all the people that you know that are like obsessed with UFC? How many of them are like not the sort of people that examine what hypermasculine behavior does?
like all of them.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's I gotta say,
That's a really good thing. Like, it's a really cool thing to break down. And
it's a very,
especially
very
in that
interesting
way.
examination
yeah.
of gender through a sport that is very gendered. Like a lot of the behavior that drives the sport forward is gender.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, because I remember just, like, watching pre-matches or whatever where, like, the two fighters will talk, and they they straight up just hate each other, and it's so,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna kill you, and there's, like, the big bodyguard that's like, I'm gonna kill you both. Fucking stop.
Yeah, and I'm
it's like,
not
why
aware of
can't-
how much of that is kayfabe, but
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
me
not
either.
a lot of it is.
That's the thing. It's like, how much of it is real? Because, like, they're putting a lot of butter on that bagel. And, like, the
Yeah,
thing,
they really are.
the thing that, like, always gets to me is, like, why can't you just be friends and beat the shit out of each other and then go be friends afterwards? Like, there's a bunch of
it's
sports ball
not-
people who do it.
It's not very sporting.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy to me. But yeah, that's how it is. It's very odd.
And it
it's
seems to
very
be only at
scary.
high level because there's low level MMA and like one of my friends does it and she's like, oh yeah, I'm buds with like I'm buds with the person I'm fighting. We're fighting and then it's whatever. You get your
But
little
then, like, yeah, the second it gets further,
yeah.
very kind of disturbing. So yeah, it's an interesting breakdown of toxic masculinity from a leftist critical perspective in a sport that is very fueled by it.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It's just oy.
Oh boy.
It's a brutal breakdown, but I thought it was very, very interesting. So yeah, hopefully people check that out, but I highly recommend it. And I guess with that having been said, wow, what a week.
What a week.
That has been a busy ass week.
It's been an
It's full of-
okay week.
Full of a lot of fucking news, at least. But yeah, I mean, I hope that next week is just as fruitful news-wise because this gave us a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I doubt it will be. The Game Awards just happened. I don't really see much else coming out for a
It's
bit.
definitely
anyway.
crazy. At any rate, though, yeah, holy crap! Thanks for sitting through all of that with us, guys.
Yeah.
Pretty wild,
It's only 2 hours. It's a lot.
but it's a lot of info to
Yeah, it's a
take
lot of
in.
info all at once.
Exactly.
You got anything to plug?
To plug,
Yeah. Any side
not so much.
projects? Nothing.
I guess I could always remind people that, hey, if you want an MP3 version of this podcast, check the pin post on any of our social media pages on Facebook and on Twitter. There is a link to our mega folder where we upload MP3 versions every week. Please watch Titans. It is good.
Plug Titans. You got
Titans
that
is
Warner
good.
Brothers check?
Please watch Elseworlds. It is really good. That's all I can really say. It's been a very, very good week for superhero media. Please buy Desert Child. It looks fun.
Yeah, by Desert Child. Support it. Oh, there was something else I wanted to talk about.
Oh, sure.
Nah, next week. There'll be more news on
That's
it.
all
It's
right.
not. It's a game that's coming out soon, but I gotta find it and stuff. So we'll do it next week.
Okay.
We'll do it live. I'm gonna plug.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah. I'm gonna plug my YouTube channel, which is Scratch Me Silly Plays. I post all my streams up there. I also stream fairly regularly? Question marks.
I'd say fairly regularly.
At Scratch Me Silly on Twitch. Just one word, Scratch Me Silly. Yeah.
You
this
will be
week,
scratched.
This week I probably won't stream anything. But next week, maybe I will post a schedule or something on Twitter or on our Facebook. And also, you can send us questions either in the chat, because our chat doesn't move that quick yet. Or,
No, it does not.
you can send
Or
us...
email them to us.
Yeah, at GamePunxcast@gmail.com. That's game, GamePunxcast@gmail.com. And we will gladly answer any questions, except for that one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Not that one
Except
you
for
just
that.
thought of.
But I think that'll be it.
Yep, that's the podcast. Have a good day.
All right. Yeah, all y'all have yourselves a good week. Hopefully you get some news next week that's as fruitful as this.
Yeah, get a
and,
loaded podcast.
Yeah, and have yourselves a good week too.
Goodbye.
See y'all.